Hello, everyone. This is Rob Golfi with REMAX, the Golfi Team. Welcome to the Golfi Real Estate Show Niagara edition with host Stephanie Vivier.
Well, hello there, Rob. So great to be back on the show with you. How's the week been? What's the market like right now?
The market, okay, so we're not, we don't have the full stats towards the end of the month, and but we will get that next week's. Truly believe that if she saw the house the day before, the day of closing, she would not have closed, and the former owner of this house would have still been dealing with this situation. You know, and you know what? I'll tell you, a lot of homes don't close out there because of tenants. There was an article about at least 5% of the homes out there have not closed because of tenants. We've had houses that we sold and tenants haven't moved out. They didn't close. Nothing we can do about it. Now the sellers, they have to work on trying to get these people out, and it might take 6 to 8 months before they actually get an eviction and get a court order and get a sheriff to go there and if they're not out, they'll be locked out.
All right, Rob, let's finish up the show with something fun, shall we? I think this is something we've all done, whether it's like your childhood home or your first home, but like driving by where you used to live and looking to see what it looks like now.
I do that all the time. So I do it. I sold my parents' house, and they both passed away. My dad in 2022, and my mom in 2023. And I drive by the house once in a while, and I drive by both my grandparents' house. My one grandparents live in Arthur Street in Niagara Falls, and my other grandparents lived on Strachan in Hamilton. And you could see the changes that people do, and you remember the memories when you go there. You remember, like if you're going to I went to my grandmother's house on Arthur Street in Niagara Falls, and she would make tea, and those little square little cookies. They have all the little round edges all the way around. And,
yeah,
you dip them in
like the good sugar on top.
Yeah, you dip them in the tea and you eat them. So yeah, I used to, and I used to like doing that, and it was. But it's nice to drive by. Houses that you grew up going to or grew up in, and just taking a drive by, and people that like, what I mean? Like, you take your partner or spouse or whatever and say, hey, this is where I used to go as a kid, visit my grandparents, or this is where I grew up. And, everybody drives by their old house all the time. It's just in our blood. It just brings back memories, good happy memories, hopefully for most people. And but yeah, I think it's cool. I've driven by every once in a while. If I'm near the area, I will swing and take a drive by and see what they've done to the house. If they and everybody's never happy what they do. Sometimes they bettered the house, obviously, and sometimes they made it worse. Just depends. But it is a great journey for memory lane and driving by and things. And I even went, I'll tell you, to my dad's town in Italy, where he was born and raised. And I went there, and I actually got to go through the house. And this was years ago. And I took a walk around the village that he grew up in. And I ended up talking to somebody there that actually remembers my dad and my uncles and everybody. And it's you know what? It's good to know where, especially now I went, where my dad was born and raised. It was great to see what, the steps and the streets that he, walked and grew up on. Like, you know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah.
And like, I know I went back to my childhood home when I was grown up, and I remember feeling like it had been shrunk in the washing machine, like it was like, wait, the ceilings were higher, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You walk into your bedroom and you go, wait a minute, I could have sworn it was a lot bigger than this. It's like, yeah, like all the rooms seem different. They do seem smaller. Like when you walk into a house that you haven't been in many, many, many years, and it's just, as a kid, you look at it, and then you're in there as an adult, and you're like, wow, like it's like this is a lot smaller than I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like you think it was a lot bigger, but it's a great way to, memory lane, and you know what, and most people, I'll tell you, when you go there and if you knock on their door, they're usually, I'd say 90% accommodating and saying, yeah, come on, take a look, and here's what we've done. We love the house, and they share their story of how they're raising their family and how great it is and all that kind of stuff. Like, houses tell a lot of stories, and it's nice to go visit, a house that you've been at, that you grew up going to, and you can share stories with the new owners. And share stories with what your stories growing up on these different houses, and it's great. Houses are going to be here way longer than we are, and look at me. I was in Italy, and I went to my dad where he grew up. I've been to my mom's town where she grew up.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's great. It's a great wave memory lane. I'm into that. I love history. I love knowing and learning about where people came from, and how they grew up, and what they did, and how were the times, they were when they were living there, and it's amazing, and my dad would tell me stories all the time about it. So when I got there, it's like, wow, this is what I remember my dad telling me this, and I remember my dad telling me this, and it's
to put it all together.
Yeah, you put it all together. So it's a great satisfaction, and it's a great, and I've got those memories. And my niece just was in Italy this year, and I saw her post on social media that she took a picture right at the front door of where her mother, which her mother and my dad were brother and sister, and then she was able to do a walk through the house. So all these Golfis are going to this house in this village, saying, how many are you guys? You guys want to see this house all the time. So, but it's been pretty good. A lot of fun.
Yeah, they're going to put up a sign in the front. I don't know if there's a Golfi who's doing real estate over there, but they're going to get it sold too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Rob, before you go, I want to remind everyone of the Win in Any Market event. It's coming up October 9th at Lyuna Station in Hamilton. Who should go to this, Rob?
I'm telling you, if you're a realtor or a business person, you have to go to this event. It's about 3 hours long, and I'm telling you, one thing is real estate is the easiest business to be in. I've been in every business that you could imagine, and I'm going to talk about all the businesses I have been in. And I'll tell you, real estate is the easiest business. And if you think you want to do more business, you want to do more business, you got to be at this event.
All right, go to wininanymarketevent.com to find out more info. Again, that is October 9th at Lyuna Station. Rob Golfi, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this has been the Golfi Real Estate Show Niagara edition. Find out more about Rob and his team at robgolfi.com. That's robgolfi.com. And thank you so much for listening. This is News Talk 610 CKTB.